Hello students, today we are studying the line emission spectrum of hydrogen. Now first come to what is this emission. Now when substances are irradiated, that means when light comes on that substance, then it absorbs that light. In substance there are atoms, molecules, ions, all they absorb the light energy and go to the excited state. After absorbing the light energy, the atoms, molecules, ions goes to the excited state. Now that state of that particles are called as the excited state of the substances. Now heating can also convert the substances into their excited state by absorbing the heat energy or by absorbing the light energy. The atoms, molecules, ions goes to the excited state, and after some time they emits that absorbed energy in the form of radiations. After absorbing the light energy or heat energy, they first go to the excited state, and when they comes their original state after emission of that radiations, then they give a emission spectrum. That substances give the emission spectrum. When they emits the absorbed energy, they give the emission spectrum. Substances, that means atoms, molecules, ion, all these are. Now into all the substances or into all the elements, hydrogen have a very simplest emission spectrum. Now emission spectrum means when the particles comes to their original state from the excited state, they emits the radiation in the form of spectrum, and that spectrum is called as the emission spectrum. Now the emission spectrum is not in a continuous manner, but the emission spectrum are in the form of such lines, compressed lines, having some gaps between them. Now I said that the hydrogen have the simplest emission spectrum because it is the lighter element and its emission spectrum is simplest. And 5 scientists studied that emission spectrum. The scientists are such as Lehman, Balmer, Pasteur, Pfund and Brackett. All these 5 scientists in the 19th century, they study the emission spectrum of hydrogen and they found such a spectrum of the hydrogen. Now in this hydrogen spectrum, these start from this 0 and 0 to 3.5. These spectrum are given here in the centimeter. Now see here, these series from 0 to 0.5 is the infrared series. These are the different regions such as infrared region, partly visible region, ultraviolet region. In this way, the lines, that is the spectrum, have different regions. That is the regions. And the scientist found that regions, so the name is given to that region such as Paschen series, Balmer series, Lehman series, and they give the region such as infrared region, partly visible region, ultraviolet region in this way. Now from this 0 to 0.5, they found the Paschen series, that's the infrared series. Now I show here these lines which are very closer lines. Now what is that? Lines get closer and closer together. Now the emission spectrum is in the form of these vertical lines, and that vertical lines get closer and closer together and eventually reach the series limit. That means at that position when they gets closer and closer, that is the limit of that region. Now see this, from 0 to 0.5 there is the pasture series, infrared series, and these lines get closer and closer together. From 0.5 to 1.0 the series is called as the Balmer series. The name of the scientist given, it is the partly visible region, and after that there is the gap, and then from 2.5 to 3.0 there is the Lyman series, it is called as the ultraviolet series, and the lines get closer and closer together, and at that last ending there is the this region is completed. Now in this way all the elements gives their emission spectrum, but these emission spectrum are very useful to find out how the electrons are revolved around the nucleus, and are their paths are continuous or gaps between them. Then from this emission spectrum it is found that the circular path around the nucleus in which electrons are revolving, there have the gaps between them, that is energy levels, they are not continuous as said by Rutherford. Now what is the different values of the wave number? We have to see. Balmer give the expression to find the wave number and their values, and from that then Niels Bohr then said that how the circular paths around the nucleus in the atom. He first gave the structure of hydrogen atom. In the year 1885, Balmer the scientist expressed the wave number mu bar by this expression, and these are gives the emission lines in the visible region of the electromagnetic radiation. Now this formula is given as mu bar is equal to 1,9677 in bracket 1 divided by 2 square minus 1 divided by n square per centimeter. Mu bar is given in the unit per centimeter. Now this n is starting from this 3, because here 2 square, so n is start from 3, 4, 5. But this formula is again get converted into the new formula, and that is given by the J. Rydberg, which describe all the 5 series of the emission spectrum, and the general formula he have given from this formula of the wave number mu bar is equal to 1,09,677 in bracket 1 divided by n1 square minus 1 divided by n2 square in per centimeter. Now this number 1,09,677. Now this value is called the Rydberg constant, and for hydrogen it is given in short RH. Now this what is the value of N1 and N2? Now N1 are such as the natural number 1, 2, 3, 4 in this way, but N2 have the values as N1 plus 1, N1 plus 2, N1 plus 3 in this way. And when we substitute this value of N1 and N2 in this formula, then we obtain the 5 different series. This Rydberg obtained the 5 different series in this way. Now the first series, that is the Lyman series. Here in Lyman series the value of N1 is 1 and the value of N2 can take from 2, 3 in this way. We can put any value for the N2, 2, 3 in this way from starting from 2, and that region is called as the ultraviolet region. That spectral region is called as the ultraviolet region. In ultraviolet region, the values of N1 is 1 and N2 is starting from 2 and onwards, and that series is called as the Lyman series. Now the second series, that is the Balmer series. Now that is also the name of the scientist. In this series, the value of N1 is 2 and the value of N2 is starting from 3, 4 in this way. From 3 we can start the value of N2 and that region is called as the visible region. Now third is the Paschen series. Here the value of N1 is 3 and the value of N2 can we take from 4, it may be 4, 5 in this way onwards, and that region is called as the infrared region. See the spectrum of the hydrogen, that figure you find all these 3 different regions. And the fourth series is the bracket series. Now that region is also the infrared region. Infrared region is large, and in bracket series the value of N1 is 4, value of N2 is starting from 5, 6 in this way, and that is the infrared region. And the last is the point, that is N1 value starting from 5 and N2 starting from 6 to onwards, that is also the infrared. By putting the values of N1 and N2, the different series of the spectral region can obtain, and the name of that 5 series are Lyman series, Balmer series, Paschen series, bracket series, third series, and their different spectral regions are in this way: ultraviolet region, visible region, infrared region there are. Niels Bohr, after studying these hydrogen emission spectrum given by that 5 scientists, that are Lyman, Balmer, Pfund, Paschen, and that is bracket. All the 5 scientists give the emission spectrum of the hydrogen, and from that Niels Bohr, the scientist, he was also the scientist, and he studied that emission spectrum, and he gave the its model, Niels Bohr's model for hydrogen atom, how the actual structure of hydrogen atom he give, and after that becomes the final model of the any atom, such that model, because up to that Rutherford give us the that is the uh, path of the electron in the circular manner, we already see in the last chapter, but that is the that circles are eventually go into the nucleus lastly, that are the in like of the spiral manner, but that is not the path of the electron in the spiral way, that is proved to be failure. Now after that Niels Bohr give the actual model of the atomic structure, how there is the nucleus at the center and how the electrons are revolved around the nucleus into the circular paths, and that paths are concentric paths, and between them that orbits there are the gaps, and their energies are starting from lower to higher in this way. Now see what are the postulates of the Bohr's atomic theory. Now the first postulates is that he said that the electron in the hydrogen atom can move around the nucleus in one or many possible circular paths. Then you said that, madam, there is only one circular path for the hydrogen, because there is only one electron and it move from in the first orbit, that of the hydrogen. But though it revolved or in the first orbit, but there are orbits again, higher orbits again, because after absorbing the energy, the electron move from lower stationary level to higher stationary level it can go, and by emission the energy it can come again from higher stationary level to lower stationary level. So he said that the electron in the hydrogen atom can move around the nucleus in one of the means there are so many, from that in one of the many possible circular paths having the fixed radius. Now that circular paths have the fixed radius from the nucleus, and also what the fixed, their energy is also fixed, fixed radius and fixed energy, and that are called as the orbits, that circular paths having the fixed energy and fixed radius are called as the circular path, or it is called as the orbit, that circular paths are called as the orbits which have the fixed energy and fixed that is the radius, and they may be also called as the orbit or also called as the stationary state. He give the name that orbits or stationary state, in which the electron move around the nucleus in that stationary state. That means their energies are fixed, their radius are fixed, that are the circular paths in which electron move around the nucleus. He said Bohr give this very important information about the structure of the atom, and then the structure of the atom is finally, that is, it proved. Now see the second postulate of Bohr's atomic that is the theory. Now the electron will move from lower stationary state to higher stationary state by absorbing required amount of energy by that electron. Electron can move from lower stationary state. Lower stationary state means which is very closest to this nuclear, that is the first state having the energy 1. That energy level is called as the 1. We know that there are so many energy levels or orbits around the nuclear, and we give them as the names K shell, K, L, M, N, or they are also called as the 1, 2, 3, 4. Such main energy levels are there around the nucleus in which electrons are revolving. Now electron can move from lower energy level to higher energy level by absorption of the energy. Now see that the electrons will move from lower stationary state to higher stationary state by absorbing the required amount of energy. And similarly, the energy can be emitted when electron move from higher stationary state to lower stationary state. As electron goes from lower stationary state to higher stationary state by absorbing the energy, required amount of energy, similarly, exactly by emission of same energy, electron can move from higher energy level to lower energy level again by emission of the energy. Energy can be emitted when electrons go from higher energy level to lower energy level again. Now the frequency of this radiation absorbed or emitted, the radiation which are absorbed by that electrons or the radiation which are emitted by the electrons are given by the formula of the frequency in this way. Frequency nu is equal to delta E divided by H. H is the Planck constant, we know that, and delta E means change in energy or energy absorbed or emitted. Now how it is calculated? It is calculated as E2 minus E1. E2 means the energy of the higher energy level and E1 is the energy of the lower energy level. E1 is the energy of lower energy state or orbit, and E2 is the energy of higher energy state or stationary state. And this formula is called as the Bohr's frequency rule. This formula is called, what is that formula? Frequency mu is equal to delta E divided by H. Delta E, how we calculated? It is equal to E2 minus E1 divided by H, and this formula is called as the Bohr's frequency rule. And in this formula, H is the Planck constant, nu is the frequency, delta is the change in the energy. It is calculated as energy of higher state minus energy of lower state divided by H. Now this is the formula. Now come to the postulate number 4. Now in this postulate, Bohr give us the angular value of the angular momentum of that electron and how it is calculated by the formula. With the formula he have given. Now this angular momentum mvr, mass, velocity and radius of that circular path, radius and mass of electron and velocity of electron. Now that is the multiplication is called as the angular momentum. Now this angular momentum of electron in the stationary state means orbit, starting from 1, 2, 3, 4 main energy level K, L, M, N, can be expressed by the formula, the angular momentum. He have given that electron angular momentum mvr is equal to n into h divided by 2 pi. Now here n is equal to starting from the natural number 1, 2, 3 because the orbits are starting from 1, 2, 3. 1 is the closest or nearest orbit of the around the nucleus. And after that 1, 2, 3, 4 so many orbits are there, circular parts, stationary parts around the nucleus. Pi is have the value 3.15 or 22 divided by 7. H is the Planck constant, you know the value of the Planck's constant. M is the mass of the electron, V is the velocity of the electron, and R, that is the radius of that stationary orbit. In this way we can calculate by this formula the angular momentum of that electron around the revolving around the nucleus. Now these are the four postulates of the Bohr's atomic theory.